That ain't gonna help
for the video here.
Brown stain here.
Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Rhino, Aaron, beer. This beer is 50 Shades of Gris, which is one of the Greener Futures Project beers from Beau's. So they're barrel-aged version beers. This is Grandmaster OG, which is an Imperial Gruit, aged in Pinot Gris barrels. So part of Phase 3, this is 8.9% alcohol by volume.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aged for 5 months.
Just the way you like the...
Local spring water, organic barley malt, organic hops, Labrador tea, organic bog myrtle, organic thyme, organic yarrow, and brewer's yeast.
So this is
But no free-range coastal water.
No.
I'm disappointed if it doesn't have free-range water. I'm upset.
It's got organics in it. I like my stuff chemically.
So a gruit, for those people that do not know or are from Ontario, would normally be a beer that had no hops in it. There's lots of different types of gruits. There's like the Coits and everything else. But yeah, there wouldn't be hops in it to preserve it. There'd be no preserving agents. So you would use other botanicals to give those flavors and to give a little bit of preservation. In Ontario, you have to have hops or it's not a beer. Originally, when Beau's made their first gruit, what they did was they took one hop pellet and threw it in the boil.
Just to qualify?
Just to qualify as a beer. I do know that they've had to up their hop profile. One, for longevity, for sitting on the shelves, because the beer does sell at the LCBO and stuff now. And two, they did get called out on the one pellet thing. So
They raised it to 4 pellets.
Yeah. We could feed 2 hamsters for a week.
a little bit of haze to it, nice orangey color.
Really nice
Spicy.
color.
Holy.
Very spicy.
Coriander spicy or something like that.
Very spicy. Or no, it's not spice. What is that?
Herb.
See, I'm picking up the tea very well. The Labrador tea is just shining on this, as is the yarrow.
That's what it is the tea.
The tea and the yarrow is showing up. The bog myrtle's
yarrow,
giving off a little bit of that little tiny sweetness up at the
I
forefront.
haven't got a fucking clue what bog myrtle is, so.
Me either.
Yeah.
They use it in almost every gruit. So once you've drank a lot of gruits, you get that taste and smell right away. But it's a weed. It's a weed that grows in a bog.
We're supposed to eat things that come from bogs.
In Waverley, or it's the
In Port Colborne?
It's Port Colborne Barn. It's on fire again. It's always on fire.
It is, every year.
Never stops
towards
burning.
my house.
Now, I've never really had a Gris. Are
Just-
either of you wine guys? I've never had a Pinot Gris.
I'm not a
not
wine guy. No.
No?
If I do drink wine,
Other
it's
than
white.
like when I don't get my dinner ready when I get home, I wine. But I mean that doesn't count.
My wife loves wine, but I don't think she drinks the Gris.
That's what they hear. That's what I hear about her right now.
I think for the first time ever, that was not me making a wife crack. Or something that could be constituted as a wife crack. The best is when you're making the cracks and she's sitting over there just glaring at you.
Laser beam eyes of death.
Let's try this.
I'll get her to come one time, and then
Cheers.
I'll pick at her the whole time. Then I'll go home and suffer for it, but it'll be funny on video.
I'm just gonna let that statement go without any comment because it was too easy.
Oh.
It's almost minty.
Yeah, it is minty. And that's what I'm... Is Labrador tea a minty type of tea, or...?
Us teetotalers here. I'd call the kid and ask her.
I don't remember it being minty.
It's a very herbal, very, very herbal beer, which I guess it's supposed to be, but...
Well, I've officially found a Beau's beer I don't like.
Well, there's
Yeah.
thyme in this too. I mean,
It's kind of like somebody mixed my beer with that Alpenbiter stuff.
it's weird because it has that, like we've talked about on a few barrel-aged beers tonight, it has that like tongue depressor dryness on the back end. It has a minty flavor up at the forefront. It has almost a tea bitterness in the middle mixed with the sweetness of the yarrow. But it's just weird the way it all mixes together.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Now, I've had the Grandmaster OG, And this tastes nothing really like the Grandmaster OG. So that barrel really changed it, but at the same time, the only thing I'm picking up that really makes me think of a barrel is that woody dryness on the back end. That being said, even though I don't particularly like this beer, I do like the fact that this time it's one beer aged in a barrel instead of the usual Beau's Greener Future stuff, which is, hey, let's take 6 beers in 6 different barrels and mix them together and hope for the best.
The whole Crown Royal of beer.
You can't even taste anything. It's just, it's like, I know one time I had one that was, one time they did it almost right, in my opinion. They took Matt's Sleepy Time Stout, and it was in 5 different barrels. So it was Matt's Sleepy Time Stout in 5 different barrels, and then they put some lug tread in it just for shits and giggles. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But they could have sent me a whole package that was Matt's Sleepy Time Stout, each bottle being a different barrel. And
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
Yeah.
And then sent me a barrel-aged version of lug tread, and I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Instead, they mixed them all together so you couldn't tell what was what.
Alright.
So I like what they're doing here better, where they're just taking one beer and aging it in one barrel. Much nicer to me. It's not as for lack of a... I can't even say that because I'll get this... Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, I think you know where I was going to go.
Doesn't work for me. It's medicine-y.
Ah.
Yeah.
On the plus side, this is 9% alcohol.
Jeez, is it ever? I wouldn't have guessed that because there's
No.
no astringency to it at all.
No.
Alright,
But,
my rating went up by a point because I would never have guessed 9%.
Very medicinal, you're right. Almost like a Buckley's Light. Like you took Buckley's and you watered it down.
I say it's like something back in the 1700s that they'd put a little bit of cocaine into,
Well.
and then you drink it to sleep for the night.
So like Buckley's Light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It even almost gives off the Buckley's aftertaste.
Yeah. That cooling.
That eucalyptus-like taste.
Cooling, yeah.
Is that it?
Like you had one of the hall centers and you chewed it.
This beer is a 10?
Out of 10 for me, probably a 5. I don't think it's bad, I just don't like it.
I can't go to 5 because I might drink a 5 again. That's a 4 or under. I won't drink it again.
I was at
That's not my style.
I was at a 3 until you said almost 9% alcohol, and now I'll give it a 4. Just because I got no astringency from it.
Yeah.
So.
Already a 5, a 4, and a 4 for this Beau's 50 Shades of Gris. Also, I can't give it more than a 5 because it's playing on the 50 Shades of Grey, and fuck that movie.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.